We're going to be talking about, so you get an idea, that we're talking about attracting clients and standing out. Okay? That's very, very important in today's world. When we have so many people that's out there, amazing coaches such as yourselves, marketers, consultants. Hey, Leon. And so we want to find out. Hi, Sally. We want to find out how we can set ourselves apart from everyone else. Okay, they're selling their services as well. Okay, I'm still trying to figure that out because I have a problem with it. When you talk about selling your services, I'm like, okay, how much do I charge? Okay, what do I give people? And a lot of this has to do with finding out what they want, first of all, because we don't want to be developing products and services that no one wants. Okay. I recently did a survey with my community. Over 344 members opened the email. Okay. That's amazing. How many responses did I get? One. So, how can I determine what I can provide my clients or subscribers with that one email? It doesn't give me any indications whatsoever. So I'm still clueless in that respect. Okay. So what do I do instead? I look at the data. Okay. We have to go back and look at the data. Go back, look at the data, see which are your highest performing articles or highest performing videos. Okay. Also look at the comments that people are providing you, especially in notes. I say, do your A/B testing in the notes and see, what gravitates towards people because you really don't know. So that gives you a clear indicator right there. Okay. If you're talking about politics, that was your highest rated ones, or maybe it was talking about education. Okay. That gives you a clear indicator. Okay. Well, people are resonating towards this. Okay. Then you're looking at your open rates. Okay, your open rates will tell you, okay, if the rates are going up, then you're resonating with people, okay? But if that's not going up, then it's like, okay, let me go back and see what is not resonating with people. Then you'll see your lowest rated articles and you're like, oh, no, I don't want to talk about stuff like that because that's going to turn people off, okay? Let me try to get Ken here again. Not that I'm an expert or anything. I worked for the government for 39 years, and I know data is king, okay? It tells you things that people not going to open their mouth and tell you. People not going to tell you, you suck, okay? They ain't going to tell you that. You're going to see it. You're going to see like, damn, what happened? I thought I was doing good, okay? And then I learned a lesson the other day myself. Okay, say okay. Just because I produce this information, don't mean I have to send it out to everybody. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, because then people say, how much is too much information that you send out to your subscribers? Well, that there in itself is subjective. Okay, because I used to send out posts once a week. Okay, and it was fine. Okay, but now in today's world, if you just send out content once a week, by the time the next week come around, people be done forgot your name because it's like, you know how many people producing content on a daily basis? It's like, oh my God. Okay. So I had to up my game because I realized once a week was not killing it. I mean, was not doing nothing. Okay. I was barely touching the surface. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm going to have to go live more often. Okay. We're going to all get unsubscribers. That's just the way of life. People get tired. I get tired. I don't delete you. Okay. Because I don't want to be deleted. Okay. But I don't have time to read every article and read listen to every video either. Okay. So it's like, what do I do instead? Okay. The things that I talk about that people gravitate towards, okay, is like leadership, power, and spirituality. I look at the data tell me that. They're like, oh, they like that. Okay. Then I was doing those devotionals. I put my stuff in every place because when Substack gets like kind of down, because we know the data. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. So I'm like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's why I don't do that. So I get 6 likes over here. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll take what I get. Okay. But then I have YouTube. Okay, because my number's been going down here because I say what I want to say and I don't give a damn if somebody don't like it. Okay. Period. And so the numbers will go down here, but then I'll look at YouTube. YouTube, I gained two subscribers there. I'm like, okay, cool. So never put all your eggs in one basket. Okay. And I learned that quickly. And so being a person that's not, I'm a highly sensitive person. Okay. Everybody know that. And so I have to learn to be thick skinned. Okay. Because I will tell you what's on my mind, but I have to be able to take that as well. Okay. I can't just dish it out and expect not to be called out as well. So I'm like, okay, if I dish it out, I should be able to take it. If I can't, then I just stay quiet. Okay. Until I figure it out. I'm not sure if Ken is still going to be able to join us or not, but we were going to be talking about these breakthrough opportunities for us to figure out how we can reshape our situation in this uncertain world, okay? Because I got this notification in April. Trump said, "Hey, I'm gonna give you guys a early retirement." I'm like, shoot, I need that. I need it bad because working for government 39 years, that's a long time. And so the reason I did that is because I don't know what not to do as far as working. I don't know. Okay, if I don't work, I don't feel like I'm a productive member of society. Because growing up in the what do you call it? I grew up during the 1960s. Okay, Generation Jones. All we know is work. Okay, so if I don't work, I don't know what else to do. So uh, I wasn't allowed to do coaching. Oh, here's Ken. All right,
Hi,
Ken.
how
How
are
you
you?
doing? I'm good. I'm good. I knew you was gonna be here. Technology, so you know.
Well, it's funny. I'm like, wait, how do I get on there? And then I found your email. I haven't been in email very much today because I've been back to back on phone calls. So there I am.
Good for you. Always working. Okay.
How are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was amazing. It was peaceful. It was quiet, and I love that. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed the cooking. I enjoyed the meal prep. Everything it was just right on time. Okay. I decided that I was not going to allow nothing and no one to have power over me because every year I'm suffering about, okay, but this person didn't invite me. They didn't call me. This and that. I didn't go through any of that this year. I'm like, I'm over it. Okay. I'm 63. I'm over it. Okay? Ain't nothing
Yeah,
gonna change because I'm not gonna change. Period. I'm who I am. Period. We got to move forward. And I had a wonderful time. Okay.
that's great. Very good. Yeah, I tell you, this year I didn't have to cook, and that's all that that's all that mattered, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, absolutely. But I didn't mind the cooking this year. It was just to prepare that meal. I was thinking about all the people that lost their SNAP. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
wondering how they were going to eat and how people were going to, be warm from the cold. I seen some cities that were where what was his name? Gavin,
Oh, Gavin
whatever.
Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, he was there where they was giving out hot meals and things like that. That's the type of things that you definitely want to do, uh, not just during campaigning times, but also after you get elected. Okay, show the
Yeah,
people, um, give the people what they need. Okay,
right, right.
and so that's very, very important. And I look for that where people are going to utilize their values to help other people, not just when it's convenient. Okay.
Yeah. It's important that if you have the power, to use the power in the right way. And that's really for anyone. I mean, it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a politician to do the right thing there. So um you bring up, what did you have? What did you make for Thanksgiving besides
Oh,
turkey?
I didn't eat any turkey.
Oh,
Okay.
you did.
I'm like,
Okay.
nah. So I put three ribs on the cooker, on the smoke cooker, the
Uh-huh.
Weber. Okay, it's freezing here. I didn't care.
Yeah,
Okay. I also cooked a Cornish hen. I cooked some dressing.
that's
I
great.
got some lima beans. What else? A sweet potato pie.
Yeah,
Um
you got a good feast. That's awesome.
so,
Hmm.
yeah. And so I think I got enough food for 2 weeks. So I'll put it in the freezer. Okay.
Good
So
for
I don't
you.
have to. Yeah, absolutely. So
Well,
that's what we have to do.
the downside of not cooking is you don't have any leftovers. I didn't get to take any leftovers with me. So, what are you going to do? But you know what? I didn't have to clean up. Well, I cleaned up. I helped our friends clean up. So that was my deal. But we had a good time. It was really, it was, friends that I hadn't actually met. They were my husband's friends. And, we had a lovely time. It was really, really great, and it was in a building I'd never been to before in Lauderdale, so it was really, really cool. So, yeah,
I'm
I can't
glad.
believe though, can you believe that, Christmas is right around the corner? I mean, I just blinked. It was summer just a couple days ago, it feels like.
You know what? I blinked and it looked like now 2025 is almost over with. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, it's true. I guess it's time
From
to close the book, right?
it is on this year for real, for real. After that
Yeah.
election, it's like, damn, what happened to the time? It's just like,
I know.
I don't know, right?
It's a little scary. It's scary how it's funny, like, I feel in some cases, it's like some days it feels like it's just flying by. And in other cases, when you think about other things, it's slowly moving along, step by step, you know?
Yeah, but all the challenges that we have faced this year,
Yeah.
politically, economically, financially, and all these things have
Mhm.
really brought things to a realization that I had to not only downsize, but just figure out things that I just no longer serving me and get rid of those things and figure out, okay, what things I can do instead that's going to bring more health, more prosperity in my life. Okay, because the world is constantly changing and we have to constantly reprioritize. Okay, because of the situation we're in. Am I frozen?
Mhm.
Okay, okay. You follow me?
Am I
And
frozen? Yeah,
I
no.
could,
I agree.
I could have been. And this really is good because it's making us to recenter ourselves. It's making us to reprioritize. It's making us realize the things that we should really focus on that are important and the other things that we should not even consider. Okay.
Like what? Like, what do you think for you, what is the important stuff? And what's the things that you're throwing away or, like, putting aside for now?
The most important thing is my health.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, for sure, right.
Because they're talking about that there's not even going to be enough money in as far as Social Security. So I don't know what that means. Is this going to? I just started getting Social Security. That's why I'm going to put it off. Okay, they saying
Wow.
there's not going to be enough money in Social Security, which is not. They've been saying that for years. So where's
Yeah,
the money going to come from instead? Okay, because I done worked since I was 18 years old, and I don't give a damn. I'm going to get mine. I don't know where you're
right,
going to get it from, but I put my money in the system. Okay,
right,
so you're not giving me anything.
mm,
I'm collecting what's mine.
right.
Okay. And so now you're telling me it's not going to be enough there for me when we retire. Well, that's not surprising. Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
what can
kinda
I
like
do
the
instead?
joke. It's kinda like the joke
You-
of our time, you know? It's terrible. It's like a bad punchline. It's awful.
It doesn't surprise me because we need to have our own money, our own things. We can't rely on the government for nothing. Okay. So I don't even know what's going to happen to the medical system. You know, I'm supposed to be able to collect this. What's it, Medicare A or B or whatever, and when I get 67, okay,
Mm,
I don't know what it's going to look like because they're trying to change that now, not for our benefit anyway. Okay, we started having this conversation, and I needed to introduce you, Ken. Okay, I'm sorry for that.
no worries. Hey, we're just having a good conversation, that's all. It's all good.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Ken here, he's a game-changing founder of the Persel Group. Okay, hiring advisors and revolutionizing how top talent connects with breakthrough opportunities. Okay, Ken doesn't just fill positions; he architects career transformations for leaders in L, cybersecurity, and quantum computing with powerhouse companies like Amazon, AWS, Cisco, PBS, and portfolio in his portfolio. And this Boston college grad turned Fort Lauderdale innovator has cracked the code on what is called the connection logic, the secret sauce that provides professionals um, matching happens. Okay, so you putting all these people together with the right sources. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
so yeah, I was amazed, and
That's very cool.
yeah, to see that you a subscriber and a recommended. I'm like, hey, if you want to do collaborations, that's where you should start within your own community.
That's
Okay,
true. That's right.
exactly.
Thank you very much for having me for the show. I think first I thank you for that, and thank you for that introduction. I have to say that was a very good introduction, and I'm kind of new to Fort Lauderdale. You know, when I started my business, I was still in Washington D.C., and we moved during COVID. We had moved down. We had come back and forth to Florida as a way to get away for our vacations and whatnot. And we decided after doing that for so long just to relocate to Florida. So I'm still pretty new to the Lauderdale area and still getting to know my local community here. Very lovely people. Um, but I'm still a newbie, you know, and most of my business, the folks that I help are all over the world, but primarily in Washington D.C. still, you know. So I'm still trying to get the word out locally and whatnot. But you kind of go where your network is, kind of what you said, you know, you go where you know. So I've been fortunate to have a lot of really, really wonderful people in my circle and folks that I've been able to help in a different way.
Okay, am I
I have my
losing?
a lot of the people I were folks that I worked with at any of the places that you named, any of the places that you named, Amazon and Cisco and Dell, and it's really great to see it come full circle. And I'm glad to be able to help. So, what about you, Margaret? How often do you do the show?
That's a good question. I have been going quite a bit, okay, because I enjoy these conversations. I have these conversations, one on one before I actually do live, like you and I did, and we just connected. We just had such a wonderful conversation, and I'm like, wow, can I send you my resume? so yeah, so
Always, always. That's what I'm here for.
yeah, right. So what I'm gonna do is next year I'm gonna start doing a little less because I want to start spending more time within the community with my paid subscribers, okay, and help them to nurture and cultivate the things that they want to achieve in the upcoming year and years ahead. That's what I do. Okay, I can work with organizations and individuals. However, working with organizations is going to give me a much better financial gain. Okay,
Hmm.
versus
Hmm.
with an individual. Okay, that's where we are today. That's the reason why I set myself up that way as a career coach. Then I went from career coaching to leadership coaching, executive coaching, and that's where the
Hmm.
money is. Business to business. Okay, and so that's
Hmm.
where I want. It's about positioning myself. Okay, and see what that looks like. Okay. Uh, One of the problems is with a lot of coaches, it's not the education part, it's how to position yourself out there and how to say, this is what I'll charge an hour, and just say, hey, this is what it is, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a
What
lot of people
advice?
pushing back on you, like, for rates or stuff like that? Or do you finding that the market is I feel like the market right now is really, needs folks like us to help, you know, even if it's my focus is in helping folks find jobs, which definitely everybody, the market needs that right now. But, to your point, you're helping leaders and, you're helping other folks do a lot of different types of coaching. Is that right?
Absolutely, because like I said, I started off doing the career coaching and things like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
spotty, but when you're working with CEOs and founders like yourself, they can afford they can
Yeah.
afford to, you know, take that leap. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And see that,
Mhm.
okay, if I want to get to island B, then I need some assistance to help me to get there because you have
Right.
blind spots and I can see that being from the outside looking in, and I can give you some words of wisdom, and I can give you the things that you need to help them push you forward. Okay. And with my knowledge and
Absolutely.
expertise, I'm coming from the federal government and government contracting. It takes time to transition from there to here and to figure out, okay, these are going to be my offerings to people. But I asked for
Right.
feedback, but I didn't get any. So I'm going to have to make some assumptions in the meantime. What can I do in the meantime? Because you have to develop these relationships. You have to build this trust and rapport. It don't happen overnight. Just because I say I'm Margaret Williams, they supposed to say, oh, I trust you. Who are you? You got to show people who you are and what you're about. And then once they feel
Mhm.
comfortable with you, then people will start opening up. And then that's when the magic happens. Is that correct?
That's right. I agree with that. It's really how do you do it though? Like, is it from being in front of them and doing shows like this, or is it through other ways? How do you show up and build that trust? Because I think there's a lot of channels we can do it today, but what works for you?
Okay, first of all, this is something that I've done my whole life. This is something that I've learned to develop these relationships. And it starts
Yeah.
from the ground up. You find out what you have in common with the individual. Okay, they might like baseball. Okay, oh, I love baseball. I don't like baseball, but I'm just using it as an example. You find the bridge, something that you have in common.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a topic. Maybe it's a value, and you figure it out. And once you do, boom, you in. Okay, but that's the part of the nurturing process. You can't just leave it like that. You have to continue to nurture that, like a garden, for example. Okay, you got to
Mhm.
go in
Mhm.
every day. You got to be doing something with it. You got to build this up. If you just leave it and sit it to the side, then that's what's going to happen. It's going to be left to the side, and then the person be done moved on. So you have to continue to nurture every day. You have to do something towards putting something in the relationship. It's just like a bank account. If you don't put nothing
Yeah,
in, how you expect to go there and get anything out? You can't,
that's true. It's
right?
true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think finding interesting ways to do that too is, it sometimes is very natural and sometimes you have to work at it. It's like any relationship I think that you have with anyone in your life, and delivering that value. Yeah, I think it's really, that's the rewarding part of it too. I don't know if you see this in your practice, but there are so many folks that realize that they don't necessarily know what they're really good at or uh, what they need to level. Really, they know where they're going.
Oh,
They
I'm
have
sorry.
clear direction. A lot of times, uh, they don't necessarily. Yeah. Can you hear? Are you okay?
No,
Third
because
party to figure out and to see what's next. Yeah. I
yeah, sometimes,
find that that's really helpful.
yes, yes. And one of the tools I find very helpful is the wheel of life. Okay, Because a lot of times a person will come to you with one problem, and then you have them to fill out that wheel of life, okay? Your health, your finances and all these things. Come to find out is something else altogether. But all of these things are interconnected. So if one thing is off kilter, that's affecting all the other areas of your life. And people don't realize that. Right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
It's spotty.
Or am I still coming?
You're coming
If
in and
I,
out. You're coming in and out.
yeah, here, I'm going to move just for a moment. I'm going to just put us on hold for a second.
No problem.
Maybe this is better here. I'm going to just move to a better spot in the house, I think.
Okay. Am advocate of the spirit. Am I having audio issues too? I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it's just me, I think. I'm just going to move over here toward the router so I don't have to cut out from you.
Okay, that sounds better.
Does that sound better? Okay, great.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to turn us back on. So sorry about that. You would think that the video would be cooperating today.
Stuff happens, okay? It is what it is.
That's true. So what are you doing for the holiday season? For your business, I mean.
Oh, I'm focusing on getting all of the things together for my paid subscribers. I feel really bad that I haven't really did that yet, but I
Hmm.
don't want to just put anything out there and say, here. Okay, and then you look at me strange. People look at me strange. It's like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with it? Okay, it has to
Hmm.
make sense, and it has to be something that's going to benefit you to move you further towards your goals. Okay, and so with that being said, we have to meet each person where they are, not where we want them to be. Okay, it needs to be a specialized service. You might have something specific. Okay. But each person, you need to talk to them and see what lights them up, what they looking to achieve, because this is a partnership. Coaching is a partnership, as we know. And we're walking along this journey together side by side. Okay. You're not in front of me. You're not behind me. We're walking together and we're figuring this out together, what's going to work for you.
Yeah, it's wise that you say that because I think you do need to be relevant all the time, and be really delivering the right message on message for the people that you serve. It's funny, like I very much enjoy my subscribers and the feedback that I get from them. They also keep me on message. I receive feedback from a lot of them that, you can tell when something resonates and when something doesn't. It's almost like it's a built-in mechanism that Substack has. So I really appreciate that. And it's funny too, like the things that I sometimes don't, I'm still learning. And I think we all are, in that sense, what works and what doesn't. Sometimes it takes trial and error just to show up the right way. I think we all, but I think the main thing is showing up and being consistent with it, and I appreciate you doing this too, because it helps me to ground myself in how I need to be for my Substack audience. This is the first time, this year that I've really started writing. I haven't done, I've done writing. Written my whole career, but not the way Substack is, for as in as a content creator, so to speak. So it's been really rewarding, but also very um, what's the right word? I'm not going to say stressful, but more challenging. You know?
I can agree as well. And so it's like, I have to shut out the noise, okay? I have to stop worrying about what that person doing over there, what this person doing over there, what that person doing over there, and just focus in on what I can provide. What's the best value that I can provide my subscribers. And this is always on my mind. Trust and believe. But it's something that I feel that has to happen organically and it just come to me, you know. And in the meantime, that's why I've been doing these lives and trying to figure things out, having these conversations, and to continue to add value to them in the meantime, which is resonating. But the thing of it is, we all have to continue to evolve because, like you said, all of this stuff is trial and error. I've never did this stuff before. So,
Me neither.
so I have to try stuff out and see what works. Throw it up against the wall, see if it sticks. Okay.
Right.
I started doing these daily reflections, for example. And it just make me feel so positive in the mornings. It gives me this boost of energy and everything. And I sent it out, and I was getting positive feedback by looking at the numbers. And I'm like, oh, they're loving this. And then I add the music, and then I do all this other stuff. Then I add the pictures. Now, like, hey, I think I might like doing the video producing, keep elevating myself. And I see, I enjoy helping these young, these new substackers come in, give them the courage, giving them the confidence, and I've been developing people my whole career. So I'm like, this is something that I enjoy doing. So by doing things that we've never done before, we find new skills and we find new ways of helping our clients.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
It's like we're unlocking a piece of us for them, which is really kind of cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. And we're unlocking them as well.
Exactly.
And everybody we come in contact with. Okay? So we are utilizing our gifts and skills and expertise, and we don't even realize it through just a basic conversation.
Yep. I love it. That's wonderful. Yeah, it's when you put it that way, it's one of these it's almost like you use the new mediums to communicate with folks that you didn't realize you could have impact with. It's one thing to have your career be focused on the business in front of you. That's one way to help, but there's so many other ways with the technology that we have today to share more than that, to be more, which I think a lot of folks are looking to do too. Although, it's interesting. Where do you find a lot of your clients? Are they all on Substack for the majority? Is that the main channel that you use? Or are you working with other channels? Where else are you?
Well, I don't actually have any clients right now
Okay.
because I'm working on the Substack. And for me, I'm the type of person that can take on too many things at one time and end up failing considerably because I've taken on too many things that I can't handle. So right now, I'm just working on the Substack because the clients will come. Okay, I have over 14,000 people that I'm connected with on LinkedIn alone.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I have people that I've worked with over the course of my career on Facebook. So I'm not really worried about that. The thing of
Yeah.
it is, I have to have everything in place. So when they start coming, I have something to give them. That's
Sure.
what my concern is. Okay. Once you get over here, I don't have no problem with attracting people. I want to give them something once they get here. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm finding too that the folks that I have, there's some overlap between LinkedIn and Substack, but it's really not. I haven't aggressively tried to move folks over from LinkedIn to Substack, but it's a different audience that I have on each platform, which is a great thing, I think. So yeah, it's really kind of cool. And I didn't realize. I don't know how I discovered it. Oh, I know how I discovered it. It was there was a writer that I subscribed to. She was the only person that I subscribed to, and then I went to check out, and I just had them delivered to my email. And one day I decided to check out Substack, and lo and behold, it's it's a whole world that I had discovered. I'm going to say, when was it? Maybe January, February. It's like coming up on a year now. So it's been really super cool. And it's cool to see the platform grow too, just in the short period of time that we've been on it, you know? It's really, really amazing.
It is, and as a result, it's very, very competitive too. That's why I don't put all my eggs in one basket. That's why I have my stuff on YouTube,
Hmm.
and that's and I really like that because Google is a real big search engine. Okay, if you on Google, if I had to choose any other platform other than Substack, YouTube it is. Okay,
Really?
and then well, yeah, because Google is huge. You know,
Yeah.
the search engine. People pick you up from your from Google. They can pick you up from your website. Yeah, and then my next one would be LinkedIn. Somebody asked me, "You want
Mm.
to do TikTok?" I was like, "No, I don't want to do TikTok.
I
That's
don't do
too
that either.
much.
Mm.
That's too much." To each their own. You know,
Yeah.
I find what gravitates to me. Now, which one is going to give me the most I'm not subscribers. The clients, I
Yeah.
think it would be LinkedIn because like I said, business to business, I can make more money versus
Right.
coaching an individual. Okay, it's fine. I'll take that too. But if I would like to do both.
Sure. What kind of for you, what's the ideal client that you have on the organization side? How would you describe it? I'm wondering.
Well, I will work most time when people hire someone, they hire people like themselves. Okay.
Mm.
I'm going to
Okay.
hire somebody like me. I'm not going to hire somebody that I have to watch and I have to check on. Okay.
Mm.
That time,
Mhm.
if they're not, about themselves, then they're not going to be there very long. Okay.
Mm. Mhm.
So that's the type of person I want to work with, people like me. Okay. And if not, then it's not going to be a good match. We have to have our values have to be in alignment.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't care who you are. If they're not, then we can't work together on any level. Period.
That's true. That's true. For you, like, what do you think is the the way you help folks the most, when you're working with a client? I know everyone's different, and I think about my clients and the different backgrounds they come from and the different challenges that they have. At the end of the day, a lot of it focuses around career and job search, for me anyway. Um, but each person is at a different point in their journey with their job search. So they could be working and want to try something new, and looking for a change, or they could be in between in transition and really need to land something right away. So as much as I always want to say my ideal customer looks like this, everyone looks just very differently. They're very different. They might be like me, but at different stages in their career and having different backgrounds. I think about my just this past year, I started out with a very heavy technology roster, folks who are in tech. And just over the course of the year, it's still very strong in tech, of course, but I've diversified into so many different other areas as well, just through word of mouth. Because not everybody, just because you're in tech, doesn't mean everyone you know is in tech. So, it's really refreshing to see that and being able to help different folks, at different stages in their career.
Since I'm glad you mentioned that because since I was working for the government all this time, I really didn't know who my ideal client was. Okay.
Yeah.
And so since I came to Substack, I've been working with a lot of founders, a lot of, in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
So I found that I prefer working with these individuals because they are really forward thinking.
Mm.
They're capable of paying whatever I want to charge them, and it's just that the level of professionalism is really there, and and these are the type of people that I like working with, like people like yourself. Okay, so I
Exactly. No, thank
realize
you.
that now. Okay, and yeah, people that know what they want, They just need maybe a little help with strategy or something. And me being on the outside, I can see some things, that I told you, I see you can do this, do this, do this. I can see things, being having these psychic abilities. And so I can see things that you can't see. So
Yeah,
yeah, working with somebody like me, yeah, we can do a lot together. Okay. And
exactly.
so that's what I'm looking for, to be able to take the person to the next level, to the next step, because that's elevating you and it's going to elevate me.
Absolutely.
And somebody
Yeah,
coming looking for a coach, like, oh, you talk to Margaret, she'll help you. Boom, word of
yeah,
mouth.
right. Well, you have this unique ability to see what others don't see. It's sometimes hard. I joked one time with a friend of mine. I said I didn't see myself do that, and I'm like, yeah, but you did it. I saw you do it, and and, sometimes you just don't realize what's happening around you, even though you might be completely in tune with what's going on. Um, it's sometimes it's also a perception thing. You don't realize, how many of us have a nervous tick of some sort when we're communicating, whether it's or, it could be anything. And until someone points it out, and you can't work on it, you don't know it's there, and I think I do have to say, since COVID, with us being so focused on video and still focused on video, it, I think, makes people much more aware of how they're portraying themselves, Um, but still, you're not on video every minute of the day. So how do you know how you're reflecting, and how do you know that you are putting out there the things that people need? If you don't have you're not asking and have those feedback mechanisms in place, or have a coach that says, Don't say that. You should never say that. You know why? Because this is what I heard. You said this and they heard that, which is sometimes again, don't realize that. I had one conversation with a client today, and it was a role play for an interview for that they're having next week. And I asked a question, and I call them simulations, so that people hate role playing, just in general. Like it's not really a favorite topic to our favorite activity of most. But this was really helpful because we went through a discussion, and at the end of the discussion, I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to hire you. You know why? Because I know what you were trying to say, but I don't know you I know you now because you're a client of mine, but they're not the person you're going to meet with is not going to know you. And the only thing that they know is the interaction that you have, at that point, that moment in time. And so I like being able to not point out someone's deficiencies, but help folks get the point across that they really want to get across, and be clear about what their intentions are. It's easier said than done. So,
You're right, because you have to tell people what they don't want to hear. Oh, well, you paying me, so I'm going to tell you the truth. If you don't like it, then how you receive it is up to you.
well, and you have a choice to how you receive it too. Like I think, the having the right intentions in any conversation is important. And then just staying open is really important too, because it's very easy. Us humans have a way of interpreting something that's not there, or reading into something that's not there. Or I put a post out this past week about how when we don't have an explanation for something, we as people automatically make the worst things up. We think it's got to be the worst. It's all about me. I must have done something wrong. Oh, they didn't call me. I'm getting ghosted, or whatever the situation is. And in actuality, there usually is a very logical explanation for whatever it is that's happening. But for some reason, we all choose to go the negative way. I don't know why that is. It's almost like it's hardwired into human behavior.
I can tell you part of it is conditioning from my
Yeah.
childhood because I am the first person to go negative. Okay, I am the first person, and then I like wait a minute. It could be something really reasonable thing, but like I said, because of the childhood situation, I always just go negative, and it's not like that. Maybe 50% of the time. Okay.
Or less. You don't even realize that you're and the thing about it too is like I think sometimes when we have that interpretation that we think is the right thing, then it puts us on a negative path, and with that negative path, you then interpret a lot of other things that aren't at all negative into being something that they're not. So I think keeping that positive approach and not assuming anything is really super important for anything, particularly if you in job search, a lot of times folks will think, oh, I haven't heard from so and so about this or that, and oh, that must be bad news. I'm just going to let it go. When in actuality, it could be something completely different, and you give up too soon, which a lot of times is the worst thing that you can do, particularly if you're courting someone. Think about job search. You're trying to, if you're courting someone for a relationship, to help them do something, so it's, it takes two to tango the whole way, and a lot of times the idea of tapping out is the easiest thing to do instead of pushing on and keep going, until you get to the final no. It's not a no because of this, and this, so
And what we call that is self-sabotage, okay?
yeah.
I've
Hmm.
I've done it myself a number of times. I said, "I know that this relationship is not gonna last or it's gonna go south, so I'm gonna sabotage it instead of," and that's what I do, okay?
Hmm.
And, sometimes I really feel bad about that, okay? Things that, that I made a lot of assumptions and it wasn't true, and I have, hurt, and I learned from that. What lesson can I learn from that so I won't I will prevent doing that in the future, okay?
Well, it's hard sometimes, Margaret, to know. I think it goes back to what you said too before about your childhood. You get conditioned to react a certain way to certain things, and things trigger us, and we decide that is the answer. That's got to be the answer. That's the only way it could be. In actuality, it could be so much more. How do you catch yourself though? Like, how do you catch yourself saying like I'm self sabotaging right now? Like, I'm
Fe
curious.
You can feel it in your body, okay? You
Yeah,
can feel it in your body. It'll tell you. You get chills. You'll get, and something will say, "You made the wrong mistake."
you
Okay?
can feel it.
Sometimes, yeah, and then
Yeah,
sometimes I'll go back to it and apologize, and sometimes I won't, okay?
yeah.
And sometimes I'll just leave it and just move on anyways, okay?
Why would you not? Like, is it because you think the damage has been done and you're like, it's just time to go, like time to move on, or is it more of a it's over, like it's in the past, which I think is a very healthy way to think about it if it's, nothing's gonna change. But, how do you know that you can't fix something that went the wrong way?
You can tell that too because you know a person, okay?
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
know that person well enough to know what is acceptable for them and what is not. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes
Mhm.
you cross that line and you can't go back. You can't. You can't erase what happened because it's still gonna be in your mind, you know? It's like once you
Mhm.
open Pandora's box, you can't close it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna ever be the same, even if
You
you go
can't
back.
unring the bell. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is what it is, and I've faced that in some relationships, some friendships, and I had to say, okay, all right, there's no going back. I have to move forward. Next,
Yeah.
what lesson did I learn? And you got to let it go. You have to let it go.
Yeah, but you know what though? I still have trouble with that too. So maybe that's something that I can work on because I think, I am I try to be the ultimate positive person. Pessimism doesn't have a place in our lives, I don't think. And I think the the natural thing for me to do is always try to solve. And I think I try to teach people or try to convey that to folks that, it's never too late if you have the right intentions and you you're in it to win it with the person, and if you can, I think it goes back to that feeling thing, how, like you said, you can feel it's not going to work. Well, if you feel it's not going to work, it's not going to work. That's all there is to it. Same thing with it could be with a relationship, in your personal life. It could be with a work relationship. It could be with a candidate, it could be any of those things. But I think the important thing is to not leave it up for interpretation, but actually hit it on, hit the challenge up dead on, like with someone directly, not confrontationally, in confrontation, but to talk it out, and figure out if there is a path forward. And they kind of, I guess, make a decision together, if the situation allows you to do that. I think one of the things that people get really frustrated about when they're looking for work or looking to join an organization is the lack of feedback that doesn't come. It never comes through to say, like, why did you say no? Like, what was the reasoning behind that? And I think you tapped into something that's really important, that along the way, you feel it. And throughout, a lot of times during our search, there are clues along the way that point to whatever the decision is at the end, and I'm not saying that that's the right way to think about it, but sometimes that's the only way you get closure, you know. But if you're actively engaged with it, I think there's things you can say and do, and information you can volunteer to kind of help the communications along the way, so that you can not have to get to a situation where, like, you just say, I'm done, like, or I'm pulling out of that opportunity. Unless, of course, there's something wrong with it. There's always going to be, everything is always going to be like coming up as a match, that's why we have the process to figure it out. But it's very interesting. Like, as I get older, I feel like there's every day a light bulb goes on over my head about something or other that's new. I don't, is that what the const? What it? How did I put it? Uh the the lifetime learner. I think that's what I saw.
Me too. I'm constantly learning something new. The day that I don't learn something new is probably the day that I'm going to be 6 feet below, 6 feet below. Okay. And I'm not ready for that. So it's the
Yeah.
thing of it is, when you have to, when you know yourself, it's easier to recognize these triggers and patterns.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
And then it's easier for you to say, this is not the time to have a conversation. I told this individual that long time ago. This is not the time for me to have this conversation, because I will say something that I will regret. Okay. And then the individual said to me, well, I want to talk about it. And I'm like, I don't think you want to talk about this at this right time right now. When you're angry, when you're upset, it's best to be quiet and don't say nothing, because those are the times when you say something you regret and you
Mm,
can't take it back. You can say, I'm
hmm.
sorry, but it's already out there. And it's like, okay, well, I told you I didn't want to talk about it right now. And that was for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. And because I used to be a big avoider. Okay. And
Hmm.
I would not say anything. And I would wait until I am so pissed off that I will say something very hurtful to you.
Hmm.
Okay? We should never allow ourselves to get to that point.
Mm.
Okay? To
Agreed.
be able to hurt somebody like that. Because then it's hurting them and it's hurting me. So address it at the lowest point, the point where you're at a calm point, and like, let's sit down and have a conversation, because things are not going the way I expected or whatever. Deal with it at that point. Don't let it go too long. Okay. And that's what
Agreed.
I did. And another thing is, I stayed in these relationships too long, because I'm
Mm,
like, things will change and things will get better, but they didn't get better. So once you realize that from the initial, get out.
Mm.
Okay, because things are just going to continue to get progressively worse, and to the point where you have to leave in emergency. And when you have to leave in emergency, then you leave stuff behind. Okay.
Mm.
So I start planning my exit when I realize there's a problem. Okay. So when that person gone to work or whatever, when they come back, I'm gone. They don't know what happened.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to leave. Okay. So
Well, and
if it gets to that point.
sometimes that's the way. Yeah, I was gonna say that's the healthiest way. Sometimes you got to leave when you're able, or when you know it's the right time. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, not when it's life or death. Okay, I was in that
right.
situation. I was in this situation, and I'm like, oh no, I got to get out of here. I went to Iraq. Okay, that's how far I went. Okay, I didn't want
Wow.
to be too close. Okay, yeah, when you see a situation is dangerous, you need to get out of it. It ain't gonna get no
Hmm.
better. Okay, that's what I did. I went to Iraq. I like this is the best time to go to Iraq. Okay, that's what I did. I
I
jumped
don't
out
know
of
if
the
there's ever a good time to go to Iraq. Like it's like,
no, I'm serious because it was gonna be either me or them. Okay.
mm,
And
hmm,
I'm like, when you get into that point where one of y'all gonna be out, it's time to go. Okay. When you don't
yeah,
feel safe to even sleep in the same house, it's time to go.
no, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry you had to
Uh-uh.
go through that. That's terrible.
Sometimes we put ourselves in these situations, thinking that we can change people. People are who they are. Okay. We can't change
Mhm.
nobody. No. Uh-uh. No,
That's right.
I'm not. I'm not a. I'm not taking on a science project or something like that. Okay. People are who they are. We cannot change them. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
They have to change themselves if they're going to change. And the thing is like, who's going to change? Why are they going to change for you? Why would they do that? Unless, there's reason for it, you know? Um, I get it. I totally get it.
We have to love ourselves first before we
Hmm.
consider loving anyone else. If you don't love yourself, there is no love for no one else. For real, it starts
Right.
here. And
Hmm.
I had to learn that because I didn't love myself because nobody else loved me. And I had to learn to love myself. Okay. So if you don't love yourself, then no one else is going to love you. Unfortunately, that's life, And I was so codependent and willing to accept
Hmm.
love from anyone. It's not good either, because that's not love either.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it feels like it at the time, but maybe it's not, you know, or not like,
No,
yeah, it's not coming from the right place, maybe.
exactly.
Totally.
Exactly. Now talk to me about Al, okay? AI, okay? Now we know the amount. I
Al.
had to get off of there. Yeah, right. I changed the
Yeah,
subject.
of course.
So
Sorry. Yeah.
no, because yeah. So AI is impacting every part of our lives. Okay, a lot of
Yes.
people lost their jobs to AI. Amazon laid off a lot of people. And a lot of these other companies are laying off people, getting rid of them so they can use AI instead. Okay, whether it's going to be a good or a bad, all of it's not going to be good. I can tell you that. If you don't have any regulations, you don't have any QC to monitor this, it can go really haywire. But in today's
Mm.
world, with everything that we're facing, there's no way in the world that you can run a business successfully without it.
Mm.
Is that
Well,
wrong?
I think, yeah, well, I think I don't necessarily agree with the idea that AI is putting people out of work. I think there are ways that you can use it to empower people as a tool, or you can decide to switch it out for people. Now, there's nothing that will ever replace a person in the workforce.
Thank
There's
God
not
for
going to
that.
be, there isn't, there's not going to be. And so, well, not in my lifetime anyway, and I think for a lot of organizations, they have chosen to justify their decisions based on AI, which again, has some merit to the capabilities that it has, but it's not necessarily it's definitely not the answer to solve your workforce troubles. It's definitely not the answer to replace people using the tech. And I think if you're using the tech to empower people, you've got the right idea, because there's nothing that's left that at this point in time. There's very few systems or AI tools that don't require some human oversight.
So I'm just trying to understand. They think that they're saving a lot of
The
money by.
using it
I'm
as a
sorry.
just yeah, it's like from my perspective, it's almost like there's the AI can be super empowering to your organization to help you do so much more with less. But the less shouldn't necessarily be at the expense of your workforce, your entire workforce, or even a large portion of it. Now, is AI rewriting the way work gets done? Absolutely. I think of it more as it's a tool to help us do tasks, and help us do tasks sometimes a lot better than humans can do, which is valid. That definitely makes a lot of sense to use it in that capacity. But to swap it out for a person does not compute for me. Like,
Me
and
neither.
yeah,
Me neither.
it's just
But
not the
you don't
right way
think
to
that
think about it.
that's what they're doing?
Well, they are doing that. The question
Exactly.
but the question is it a sound business decision? The question is it the right thing to do for your organization? The question is it the right thing to do for your workforce, for your people? It's TBD. Like, I think it's so nascent right now in development and utilization that we're going through this contraction in the marketplace, and companies are saying, oh, we can do it with AI. And at the end of the day, you really can't. There's some portions of work that can be done, but you're going to see an uptick. We can almost be guaranteed that there's going to be another surge of hiring that comes behind. There's all these the layoffs that are happening right now that are going to be part of the correction for companies to realize that, oh gosh, we couldn't do it all with AI, at least not today. Now, I'm greatly putting doubt in the tech, and I don't mean tend to question its ability, because it's evolving so rapidly. Um, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of layoffs and people that have been let go that is unfortunate, and it's already been done. So can it be undone? Sure, absolutely, with a higher back, but in the process, I think a lot of organizations are losing their brand reputation by sacrificing people for computers. So,
Exactly. And then you're going to come back and offer me the same job with less money? No, I don't want that job. Okay? If you
yeah,
didn't if you treated me like shit the first time I worked for you, what make you think I want to come back? I never
right.
worked for the federal government ever again. Okay?
Mm.
And the
Well,
thing of it is, not that it was all bad. The point is that I like working for myself, because everything that I'm developing, everything that I'm doing, I'm benefiting, not somebody else benefiting off of it and off of
right,
me. Okay. I'm doing my own thing. And the thing of it is that we need to start understanding and utilizing these tools too. So if and when they do call us, we have the power, okay, to say I can do this, 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 and this, and you're gonna pay me this, because I'm not taking this. Okay?
right,
Then
right.
we have power to set our what we want, not based on what you want. Okay? We need
Well,
to
well,
flip the
I have to
script.
say you're on to something there too, because I think the opportunity is now really to learn what you can about how to use the technology for your own benefit.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
one of the things that I offer to my clients is AI training. How do you use it on a day-to-day basis for your work in your job? I focus on how do you use it in your job search. Can you power your job search in a different way and do more with it? But the person that is going to get ahead and make the big bucks, like you described, are the ones that you integrated into their lives right now. And they already are
Absolutely.
doing it right now. And I think it's really important for your for our subscribers to investigate and figure out, for them what what can it do. If you don't know yet, then you're not looking out for your career and for your future, because it is going to be a part of
Exactly.
just about the fabric of what we have in the workforce. So it's one of the things that I recommend to everyone, if especially folks that part of one of the things I give to as one of the packages I give is our instructions or prompts for to use in job search for AI, using AI. And and I'm surprised too at like a lot of the folks that I talk to have not used them before. So it's refreshing for me. I know that that's a need for my population, for my subscribers. And I'd love to be able to help people to utilize it in a way that's going to help them to get their career ahead, and to not be one of those folks that are impacted by it, but instead the person that gets hired because they're so good at integrating it into their work. They use it the way it's supposed to be used, as a tool to help them, not a tool to replace them. So
And that's what these recruiters and these companies are looking for. These savvy um content creators who knows how to
yep,
utilize these tools um, to their benefit. That's who they're looking for. And like when I'm
absolutely.
writing a paper, okay, you need to have this sources within the last 3 to 4 years. They don't want no information from the 19 from 2000 something, because this is relevant material because of all of the research and development and AI. We have to continue to raise the bar to figure out
Mhm.
how we have to be future proofing our lives and our businesses. And if we're not utilizing these tools, how can you do that? You're not
That's true.
dealing with current information. We need updated information to be putting here, not something from the 2000s. That information is irrelevant and is archived. Okay, we don't want to
Mhm.
become archived either, right? So you need to okay, utilize these
Don't archive,
tools.
Margaret. Don't archive me, please.
Right, we can
Right.
easily become obsolete. Okay, if we're
Yeah.
not utilizing these tools, we don't have the latest information to provide our clients. Okay, our clients are tech savvy, and if you don't
Right.
know it, they know it. What do they need you for?
Right. Well,
Okay?
have you heard about hallucinations?
Oh
Do you
yeah,
know
of
about
course.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem with a lot of the AI tech is that they still haven't solved for the hallucination piece. So sometimes when you're using it, it will make stuff up. When you ask it a factual question, and unless you're doing the fact checking yourself or have another mechanism or a way to fact check it, you don't know what you're getting is truth. You don't know if it's the facts. And so, that's one of the things that's important when companies are considering using AI to do the work that people do, And so, again, it's a cautionary tale, because once you put out false information that's not cited, or that an AI tool made up, your your credibility is at question. So it's just something to think about too, as you're integrating it into your work, to spot check it as you go. Because and I have it built into everything that I do, that for each thing that any output that I get from any of the tools, it's cross referenced with another tool, and sometimes checked three times, just to be sure that the information is factual, or if it's not factual, that I understand what the variance is. Like, is it fact? Is it fiction? Is it somewhere in between? And And that's another reason why I would never trust necessarily medical advice that it gives, because even though it might know everything, when it's put under pressure, sometimes it makes mistakes. So
just like us.
exactly. Maybe less than others, but when it makes a mistake, it makes a royal mistake. It makes stuff up out of the air. Like, so I just, you got to be careful. So I don't know. That's the thing that it's a head scratcher for me that companies are using the technology and leaning on it hard to potentially have it be to have errors. It's not error free. Let's put it that way.
Well,
So
it's garbage in, garbage out. And the thing of it is these companies think, okay, I can get rid of her. I made $130,000 a year, and they got rid of me because they feel like, oh, she charges, she's too costly, so we can replace her with this machine language. Okay, yeah, right. Think again. Okay, and they're getting rid
mhm.
of all of us and dumping us in here. So then we have to figure out, okay, uh, I have to become an entrepreneur now. What do I need to do? Okay. Right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
we have to figure it out. We have to utilize these tools too to do all these repetitive tasks. Because do the repetitive tasks, it takes me 2 or 3 hours. And utilize one of these GPTs, put all that information, you get it done in 10 minutes.
Yep. Well, as long as it's correct. No, I'm
Yes, of
just joking
course.
around.
But you,
Like,
but you understand what I'm saying. It's
I
because
totally do. It's ridiculous too sometimes, the logic that goes into it, because it's so, as a business person, the costs, the numbers that come through are just very hard to resist. They're irresistible to see the cost savings if you don't consider everything. And so I've had customers that have made the wrong mistake and have made a decision that it's hard to take back if you're not careful. It's something like at Amazon. When I worked at Amazon, it's something we called a two-way door. Every decision that's important that you make needs to be reversible. Otherwise, you're going out one door and you're stuck on the other side. So with AI, there's potential for that kind of a one-way door decision to be made. So like you described, like, you're never going to go back to the government. You just won't do it. You've been burned. That's a one-way door decision they made with you. And again, so um it's just something to think about, like, as a business leader, and most business leaders understand this too. But again, it's very alluring to see as a new user of AI, you and me, to see
hmm
the capability, to see what it can put out, and to see how, oh my gosh, that it wrote so quickly, like it would take me all day to write that. And in actuality, it would, because your quality of writing is so much better than that, if you, at the end of the day. So it's it's a trade-off, it's not a one for one at all. It's something completely different. It's not that kind of equation. So
It's something that a lot of people feel uncomfortable with,
yeah,
being old school like me. But how can you keep up? Otherwise, how can you
yeah,
keep up? You got everybody, you got this coach, this person, that person. And it's just like, I cannot keep up. Really, I
yeah,
just can't. And there's
yeah.
so much noise out there. And so what sets you apart from everyone else? Okay.
Mhm,
I got to
mhm.
keep, because I'm a perfectionist. I have to keep improving. So how can I do that? You know?
Well, I do have to say, though, the thing about the output of a lot of the AI tools today, anyway, is the quality is, I just call it vanilla. Like, it's like, it really is like the lowest common denominator sometimes of work that it can do. And your personality comes through when you write. Your personality comes through, who you are, what you are, your personal stories, what you do, how you do it, how you articulate it. It's all you. AI cannot replicate that ever. Like, I mean, it could try. I mean, it might get sort of close, but no, you're gonna know it's not you. So do you want to put something out that's not you?
No,
I mean, you got to.
no,
Of course you
because
don't, right? It's your brand. It's absolutely
people
your brand.
People gonna know. People gonna know. They
Exactly.
look at this. They say they don't even. They don't seem to sound like her or whatever. They
Right.
know. Okay.
Hmm. Exactly.
I I went into AI, okay, and had it to design a logo for my podcast. I
Okay.
couldn't have done that. I tried to do it over 100 times in Canva. It didn't come out right. I told GPT to do it, and it was beautiful. I'm
Oh,
like,
well,
okay,
okay. Well, there's a good use case. That's perfect because I can't do it either. I can't do that. Like,
okay. And I used to pay people on Fiverr to do stuff like for me. Now I can use AI and tell AI make me this logo, and it was beautiful. And it had all my design colors and everything. I like shoot. I said I like okay. I'm gonna have it to design my thumbnail. Okay,
there you
for my
go.
YouTube. Okay, because I can't
Oh,
do it.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I have to check. I haven't checked out your YouTube channel. Why haven't I not checked out your YouTube channel?
It's all good.
No, it's not. I got to do it. As soon as we're done here, I'm on it.
Okay, cool. But yeah, when I first started, I had like 23. Before I came to Substack, I had 23 subscribers. Okay. Now I think I got
Okay.
53. I think I got 53 now. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Okay, I'll take
You know
it.
how many I have on YouTube? Like
Many.
3. It's terrible.
Mm,
I don't put anything out there though. Like that's terrible because I don't do anything with it, you know? So
I'll
again, it's
join
one of those
anyway.
channels. Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
this has
funny.
been this has been really, really a good conversation because we have to figure out how we can keep raising the bar,
Hmm.
okay, in this
Hmm.
crowded space, and so
Hmm.
people can, get clients. Like even myself, I'm not trying to get any right now, but I'm sure I could, could do that. Like I said, I have to put all these products and services in place, while I'm trying to figure things out, but I can still coach people in the meantime.
Of
Okay.
course. Right, of course. You're a brilliant
Yeah,
coach. I
for
was going
sure.
to say, I have to have you on. I'm going to start a show. You've inspired me to start a show, start my own show. You will be my first guest. How's that?
Awesome. I'm there.
Okay, cool. That sounds
Awesome.
great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful.
Yes, it has been. I want to see if anybody has any questions. And
Oh, yeah, sure, of course.
I know you're very busy. And so anybody have any questions here for Ken? I don't know if he's accepted any resumes, but
Of course, I'm always always available to talk to anyone who needs help.
yeah,
Make it.
EG said yeah, right. EG said that LinkedIn is unique because it shows the web traffic.
Oh, oh, like yeah, it shows you the who's visited your profile, what they look, what their background is. That's true. I don't know. Do we have those stats? I don't think we have those stats on Substack, do we? I'm still new learning it.
I don't know. I quit looking at the data because every time I look at the data, I get pissed off. So I'm like, let me quit looking at that. Okay,
Yeah.
let
Maybe
me look
next
at
time.
something else
Well,
instead.
next time we should dive into the stats and maybe talk about how we can, or maybe we do that another time. I was going to say because I think that's super helpful for us to understand how that works. I think particularly as it relates to the LinkedIn people versus the Substack people. I'd like to explore that with you.
Yeah,
So
I would too. I would too. I wanted to say on LinkedIn they have those a premium what you
yeah,
call it
premium
subscription.
subscriber. Yeah. Mhm.
I got one for free for 2 months for my I have a LinkedIn personal and I have the
Yeah.
LinkedIn business.
Okay.
Okay, the LinkedIn business is the one that I got for free for 2 months, so I can build that up. Once you get 100 subscribers on your LinkedIn business page, you
Yeah.
can go you can go live on there.
Oh,
Until
I
you
didn't know
do, you
that.
can only yeah. Until then, you can only go live on your personal.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah,
And you know what? It's
yeah.
funny. Like I have never even considered going live on LinkedIn. Isn't that weird? Why would I? I don't know. Why would I not think that? I guess I haven't really watched a lot of live folks on LinkedIn either. Have you?
don't have time to be on there and Substack. I
That's
just don't
true.
have time. Okay.
Hmm.
So the thing of it is I have the 2 clips going there to every time I go live, like 2 clips from this live will go to LinkedIn. Okay.
Got it.
Restream, which I plan on starting to use, so I can go live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Substack at the same time, and YouTube.
Wow. That's fancy. That's high tech there. I think
N-
anyway. I've never done, I don't think, I have not been on, this is the first show that I've been on live, I think, on Substack. So
Okay,
thank you for introducing me. I appreciate it. And I will
whatever
be
you
better
need.
prepared last time. And we're near the router's right behind me. So like I need to be near the modem, when I'm doing one of these.
See, you learned a lot today. So
That's
if you
true.
need if you need any tips, you know how to get in contact with me. I got
I
you.
do. I know where you are.
Yeah.
Thanks, Margaret. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, Ken. We have good chemistry, energy, and I got you. When you go live, I'll be right there for you. Okay?
You rock. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you. I don't see that anybody has any questions, but they'll know how to get in contact with you, Ken. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful one. Bye. Have a great
You
weekend.
too. You
Bye.
too. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye all.